Oh my gosh. We are screaming towards the 5,000 wheat penny mark. I mean, you know your years are getting good when you get a frickin' what is this, like 2,000 milliliter jar full, like 2/3 of the way full. Oh man, if we could fill this by the end of the year, which I think we're gonna do, whatever. Right. I hope that we could get in that little lucky amount of wheat pennies. By the way, somebody in my chat, I was uploading a video about like one of the best boxes I found. It was in Indiana. This guy's like, we'll get 2 boxes back to back, and damn it, I did. I got 2 boxes back to back. But could it happen today? Because this box I have, what do you call it? This box is from the same spot. I don't see any enders though. I mean, hey, one box. When I went to the Mox 161, the really good one that had 115 Wheaties, that when I'm just memorizing it. We literally broke our record by 30 Wheaties. That's nuts. But it had one that dropped like 9 Wheaties, and then the next one dropped 115, became like the best. Alright, now again, I have a new terminology, the Brenner box, or the box that contains more than 50 wheat pennies, even sometimes at the triple digits. I don't see any wheat penny enders on the other side, but this one. Will we see more? I don't see any obvious Wheaties. I'm pushing my camera around with my dome, ain't I? There are no wheat penny enders on this box. Fair enough. But you know, before I start moving, how much does it weigh? The last one weighed 6,800 grams. Although, we've had one that weighed 7,000 and it dropped like 90. So if it weighs above like 6,700, 6,600, this is probably going to be an average box. We find like 500 wheat pennies in it. If we had 500 wheat pennies, I would expose my address. Just kidding, because you never want to tell, you never want to make a promise you can't keep. I'm not exposing my address. I don't need somebody to like molest me or some shit. I go out on my own terms. Bro, I'm watching a short where this guy was trying to get promoted by like a company that would like find like ores for you in Minecraft, which I think is theoretical because all you gotta do is technically put the seed in, and like the data for that seed could be harvested to find like where diamonds are. But it says like like other ores are locked. No, no, no. That's bullshit. I mean, maybe a little bit less so if it's like free, but still, that is scummy shit. We didn't meet my quota for the penny boxes I needed to get, so as a result, I'm gonna go to a town tomorrow when I go get my hair done. I'm gonna go get some boxes, hopefully to chase it and burn out by the week, because I got a shipment 6 days ago from the day. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Yeah. I don't know why I like to check like that. Oh my god. Like the app that was gonna help you find diamonds, you have to pay $7 a week. Oh, $7 a week, that's not much. That's $365 a year. That is more money than my Radar Scope Pro subscription. I pay $100 for that, and it actually helps because I can save my life from it. Or save my life, by using it. Good grief. I hate mobile games that ask you for, like, $5 a week. Here's the thing. Here's how they trick you, right? You see it, and it's like $5 a week. Okay. That's not that much. I mean, $5 is not that much money to me. Oh, and a week is not that much time. But it's not like that until you realize that there's 52 weeks in a year. And $7, which, I mean, $7 is literally like, again, $7, $1 a week. You know, that's not that much. Until you realize it's $360 a year for a mobile app. Bruh, with $365 a year, I could pay for PlayStation Plus. I can pay for Radar Scope Pro, which is an application that will literally help me save my life. And, I'd still have a lot, and what's it called? And the rest of the money I could use to fill in for the amount of money of 09. The rest of the money I could use to fill in for the money I take out when I search Wheat Penny boxes. Like, bruh, you can't be shitting me. So stupid. Wheat Penny. 1956 Denver. Wheat Penny number 1. Oh my gosh. Dare I even get political about the bullshit that happened within the past 48 hours? Sometimes I fear that I will offend some people. But sometimes I want to remind myself that I just don't care. Dude, you hear Trump's crashing out over the Epstein shit? That's awesome. Man. A reasonable crash out. If I go on a rant, I deeply apologize. Actually, maybe I don't. Maybe you guys can hear it. God damn, the cover up is so bad. And I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist. You're telling me that... Oh, God. Did we even get into this? So, like... I hate when you, like, bring up obvious shit. Like, you know, this administration is completely scummy. It's scummy. Okay, the same administration that tried to release the Epstein files. They were right there in the binders, which, by the way, they were fake. And then, after they, quote-unquote, release the files, they say, oh, they're not real. Like, that is... Like, when I say that is a 180, I mean, like, we're talking, like, Fortnite cranking... Like, CSGO player got shot in the back, 180. I mean, not even that competes. Like, bro is going 160 mile an hour on a freaking interstate, took the handbrake, and straight up cranked that shit 180 degrees. That wouldn't even be, that's not even as far as a 180 as this. You're telling us you have the files on your desk, and then you've been doing this for months, saying, they're real, they're real, they're real, and then... Nothing. They're not real. They're made by Hillary. They're made by any cricket administration. How many times is this kind of gonna blame anybody? Oh, there's a Canadian penny. How many times is this guy gonna blame anybody but himself for the problems that he causes? And if you hear this, and you're like, "Oh my god, you dumb liberal." Well, guess what, buddy? That's because I hate Trump doesn't make me a liberal. I'm an independent, and then all that means is that I don't give a shit over either side arguing. I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. Actually, I just see both sides fighting each other, and I say, children on a playground. You're on the same chunk of rock floating in space, but you can't shut up, nut up, and get along. Essentially, that is pathetic. That is weakness. There's 17 Philly. If you, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, chat. If you can support this president and Trump and the administration from now on, you are a bootlicking slave to the system. I don't want to sound like one of those incel, like, conspiracy theory people, but I'm being genuinely serious with you. If you still support him after today, you are a billionaire bootlicking parasite. You cannot tell me you support a guy who literally made his campaign, oh, there's 17 for me, his campaign on releasing the Epstein files. He kept literally saying, oh, we're going to release them. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Making it part of the campaign. And then quote, unquote, releasing them, which, again, I could have made that shit. All I got to do is take a binder filled with junk paper and, you know, put, Epstein files in black bold text, and then the United States FBI seal right below it, and it makes it look legit. I could literally make it in 10 minutes right now. If you said, go do it, I could recreate it. Well, it would probably take me a while for, like, the filler papers, but I could definitely make a binder. Which, by the way, if they're going to release it, why they do it in binders and not on the internet? Because they know that the stuff in the binder is fake. It was all a show. That's what this president relies on. He makes shows out of everything. He tries to make complete dog shit look spectacular. We're talking about the same guy who threw a military parade and is saying we're going to release Epstein files and we didn't. And even more. I'm just saying, if you literally are a Trump supporter, you got played like a fiddle. And I will never, and I mean, I will never feel an ounce of guilt for you. Ever. You did this to yourself. You destroyed yourself. You shot yourself. And again, it is not the Democrats' fault. It is not anybody's fault except for yours. Hello, everyone. How's it going? I'm going on a political crash out again. Complete stupidity. You know, I get nervous when someone's going to my chat, but you know what? No, I don't care. When you literally go on the fact, you're going to release the files of the most infamous predator of the entire 21st, and even, I'd almost say even 20th century. We're not talking like, this is your neighborhood pred. This guy was powerful. He had connections, and he had some pretty rich friends across Earth. His friends are in your government, in your line. They're everywhere. And a lot of them are most likely not even getting justice for what they've done. I mean, I don't care how much I'm crashing out right now. But we literally saw Diddy get, what, 20 years? The Department of Justice is a joke. Again, no one should support Trump anymore after this. He said he was going to release... Wait, hold on. Shut. I think I just saw something special. I think I saw a 2020 S. But, like, seriously. You voted for a guy who's going to release the Epstein files, and then he says they're not real and they're made by Clinton and the Biden administration. Like, come on. Do we really believe this? This is like somebody getting caught with their pants down saying, he ripped my pants. No. You pulled your pants down, buddy. If you fall for this, you are an idiot. I'm sorry. And maybe I'm not, but you're just an idiot. Copper penny, I forgot. Like, never mind. Like, I'm sorry. And this goes for anybody who supports, like, a billionaire on either side of the political spectrum. Do you really think, and I'm going to ask you, I want you to be genuinely honest with me when I ask you this. Do you think a billionaire that owns shitloads of money will care about you? I will tell you this. They can destroy the economy tomorrow. Every rich person can destroy the economy. They could lose 95% of their wealth. Hello, viewer. They can lose 95% of their wealth, and they will still live way better than you will in your entire life in one day of theirs. Mark my words. And I don't care. I honestly just don't give a freaking damn anymore. If someone calls me a liberal, hey, I'm not trying to be controversial here. I just think, being in the land of the free, I should be able to live how I want as long as I hurt nobody. I also think we shouldn't be building concentration camps. I also think we shouldn't, discriminate against marginalized groups. Yeah, I mean, I know it's really bad to say this, but there's no 9. I don't want to be a douchebag. I know it's a shocker, because guess what? Being a douchebag is not fun. I've tried it. It's not fun. You don't get friends being a dickhead. Oh, there's a 58 Philly. We penny number 2. Oh, there's 3 more. There were 3 Wheaties in here. 46 Philly and 48 Denver. Wheat pennies number 2, 3, and 4. Again, I don't care what anybody says and complains to me. I am not a leftist. I am not a right-leaning person. I support America. And I support my people. And I support humans. I don't take sides. Well, I don't take no. I don't really take left or right here. You know why? Because it is not what people in the modern day need to learn. And I don't want to sound like I'm off my gourd. Maybe I am a little bit, but at least I admit it. It is. I'm sorry, but you got to listen to what I'm about to say here. If you think that in the modern day it is left versus right, you are completely wrong. It is not left versus right anymore, chat. It is top versus bottom. As long as the elite of this planet and this country keep you divided, they can remain in power. Think about this, right? Like, okay, hold on. There's 10 rolls in. We should have 2 wheat pennies. We got 4. We might be getting lucky. I don't know. That might have been like a normal lucky 3 wheat penny roll or whatever. Canadian penny. Like, seriously. Immigrants are taking over the country. Really? Really? Yes, there's people that cross illegally. But do you really think they're, like, coming in like, shit tons droves, right? Honestly, I don't care. I'm actually starting to think, like, why do we do this? Imagine being born on the planet and being born on a rock, wanting to go to a different rock, and not being able to because you were born on that rock. That's bullshit to me. That is complete bullshit. And also, viewer. Honestly, getting in the countries is a pain in the ass to begin with. If you're trying to be a citizen. So I'll say two-way issue. Oh, no. Like, yeah, but there's a wheat penny I forgot to say. I forgot to call that out. 51 Philly. Oh, why don't you support the president, then maybe? Well, guess what, buddy? Trump passed the big bitch bill. Do you know what that bill's gonna do? Guess what? It's gonna destroy wind farm tax credits. That means that more wind farms could be under subject of cancellation. There is a really big wind farm that will be able to have 60 jobs, permanent jobs. By the way, he touts how America should be energy, rich, right? How we're trying to get energy supremacy. Hey, buddy, energy supremacy, but you're literally destroying wind turbine credits. Also, the amount of money gutted to Medicaid. Do we even need to mention that? Do we need to mention it? Again, like what, $880 billion to $1 trillion of Medicaid just completely down the shitter? Oh, there's a Wheatie. Like, I didn't think that was real, and it is. 56, Wheatie. Wheat penny number... It's actually wheat penny number 6. What a heartless bastard. And it hurts because I've seen clips of them going around to the Texas floods. You really care about the Texas floods, huh? Here, how about this? You really care. So why did your boy... I mean, yeah, I know it was before the Texas flood happened. How do you feel knowing that you and Elon Musk effectively made cuts to the National Weather Service, leading to shortages of people? By the way, the National Weather Service is underfunded and understaffed in some areas, yet you decide to make cuts. How in the goddamn hell do you justify that? Again, it doesn't matter who you are, what you identify as, or your political leaning. If you're an American, you are helped by the National Weather Service. And anybody agreeing to cut and make cuts to the National Weather Service in this day of age I don't care if I'm going too far, should be charged with crimes against humanity and science. You're cutting a service or making cuts to a service that saves lives. Really? Your president cares about you, but he authorizes that the National Weather Service get cuts, even though, again, some areas have faced up to 20% underemployment. And now we have 10 or 12 out of 100 sites that either do not launch weather balloons or launch only one a day. This is destroying people's forecasts. There's a Weedy. Number 56 Denver. Repenting number 7. Do you know how much the weather balloon... Oh, there's a 46 Denver. Repenting number 8. Do you know how much money we're going to save if we cut, the amount of weather balloons we're doing right now? We're going to save $1.6 million in the presidency. That's nothing. You're telling me we have to save that $1 million. And by the way, you want to know how stupid this presidency is? The fact that the big beautiful bill, or big bitch bill, reversed, completely just disregarded what Doge did. This administration is like wiring naked copper wire, or making something out of naked copper wire and flooding it with water, and then being surprised that the two are not working well together. This administration is literally like tossing gasoline, not diesel, but gasoline onto a fire. Because when you toss gas onto a fire, the fire goes back up and goes into your can and explodes you. I'm telling this right now, and if you can't accept it, then that's too bad. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are an American, you are losing right now. You are getting your asses kicked in. The fact that one man who knows how to use social media well can manipulate millions of people into doing essentially his bidding and being completely subservient is scary. Hello, viewer. Like, I think honestly, on this point forward, we need to be very cautious about this shit. Again, I will say this. Another thing I will add on. If you have a political candidate and you don't criticize them, or at least look at them under a microscope, you are subservient. That is cult mentality. MAGA is a cult. Do you need me to explain why? You know what cults do? Okay, let's define a cult. A cult is a group of people who have a set of beliefs and ideals, usually ruled by a charismatic leader, is able to separate their families. Well, MAGA doesn't do that physically. They do it socially. At least they socially, separate their families. They separate families, instruct that some ideals in their head are correct and others are wrong. The leader is always right and everybody else outside the group is wrong. Bastardizes and shames people who leave the group. And sometimes can commit shitty acts. Love him or hate him, Trump is a charismatic man. He knows how to win people. His base literally owns up and sucks up to him. And doesn't criticize one thing they do. And if somebody criticizes them, they all basically jump into and block the bullet for him. They're actual slaves. I sound so crazy right now, but I can't sound as crazy as a MAGA idiot. I hope I don't get banned or get a strike. I should be allowed to insult cult members. Why are you criticizing it? Buddy, you care about kids now, don't you, MAGA? Okay, got it. So, why do you go into schools and terrorize people over having pride books? Why do you support an entire administration that supports ripping people's families apart? Why do you support a government that sends people to another country to support a genocide? You care about the kids, huh? No. America doesn't care about anybody. They care about themselves. They will They will be all giddy when somebody else suffers, but then when they do it, they go, oh, woe is me. God damn, they're so annoying. Like, I've actually been thinking about, like, hello, viewer. How's it going? Actually, meet pennies here. But damn, I cannot wait till this shitstorm of a time period is over. I've actually thought about banning MAGA people from my chat, but the only reason I don't do it is, unlike them, I believe in free speech. I'm being genuinely serious. Unlike them, I'm not going to censor. But I will say, if you start spouting, like, QAnon conspiracies, your ass is out of here. Without a second thought, and you're not getting an appeal. I'm not sorry, but the MAGA and QAnon movements have just destroyed this country socially and physically. I have no respect at all for people like that. No respect. We have climate change, minorities being demonized and shit on. We have people dying in the streets of freaking homelessness and hunger. Like, we have vets that can't even afford homes. The cost of life is going up. And you think that migrants coming into the country are a problem. You think people, wanting to be a different gender are a problem. Really? What's a bigger problem? Violence in the streets, hunger, disease, or somebody wanting to be a different gender. What's the problem here? My 20 rolls in, we should have 4 wheat pennies. We got 8. What I really hate about politics nowadays is we create these bullshit issues. Like, can we just leave, like, gay people alone? Like, they just want to love somebody. Just because somebody wants to love somebody of their same sex doesn't mean that you as a hetero person cannot love anybody. Like, holy shit. Like, really, there's worse things in the world. Like, get over it. And again, I can't take it when people see a gay marriage on TV and call it woke or some shit, and they get so butthurt, and they have the audacity to call other people snowflakes. Like, buddy, you're literally getting mad over 2 dudes kissing. Who's the snowflake here? Versus, a guy who probably is called the F slur, and then you call him a snowflake. Newsflash, buddy. Not everybody wants to be called the N-word or the F slur down the street. I know it's a shocker. I know it's very, very difficult to comprehend. We just don't like... I mean, please don't cancel me from what I'm about to say. Racism, transphobia, and homophobia isn't cool. I know, right? It's just not cool. Don't do it. It's not fun. It's not cool. Besides, you have a shitty existence when you rely upon hating others. Like, seriously, your life is so consumed by hate where you cannot see... Where you see marginalized groups as horrible. Get help. If you actually have that mindset, you need help. All that negative energy that you burn on hating minorities could be sent to doing so much good work. You don't have to like them, but don't be a dick towards them, man. Because, actually, you know what? I hate when people get mad about minorities being in America. Like, guess what, buddy? This country is a melting pot. People of different cultures, genders, walks of life, orientation, religions, and all beliefs, essentially, come together and merge into America. America is... If cultures... Or if we didn't have so many different cultures, that wouldn't be America now, wouldn't it? Like, you're in America, buddy. This isn't the 1960s anymore. Being racist is not cool. Oh, don't get me started about tariffs. Tariffs will bring back our jobs. Okay. Tariffs will bring back our jobs. Why didn't you put tariffs on day 1, Donnie? if tariffs are gonna liberate us, right? Liberation Day is when we put tariffs on. Okay, so then we do that. Dow Jones drops here's Woody. Dow Jones drops about what 2,000 points. S&P they drop 1,000. So guess what? I don't have proof this has happened, but I'm just skepticizing. I'm just putting this out there. And then he just stops the tariffs and it goes away. That had to be insider trading. Okay, so if they were doing such good for the economy, why did we stop the tariffs? Tariffs bring back jobs, people. So why did we stop them? Oh, there's a 47 Denver. We pay number 9. Oh, wait. Hold on, guys. It's maybe tariffs don't work. If you you get proof backing it. Yeah, actually. So, on June 12th, 1930, these governors, these politicians with the last name Smoot, known as Hawley, they said, you know what? Let's protect the farmers of the country. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start hiking tariffs. And so they did. And that combined with the stock market crash of 1929 made the Great Depression worse. Guess what happened during the Great Depression? 25% of employable Americans did not have jobs. Unemployment rate almost doubled. That's right. For every 4 Americans that could be working a job, 1 of them was not working. Unemployment rate of 25% is not good if you don't know that. Like I said, I tell this to my dad, he's like, you so many great things about the Great Depression. There's one great thing about the Great Depression is that it ended, buddy. After these tariffs in 1930 were occurring, they lifted them in 1932. Or they partially lifted them in 1932. The stock market started to go up. And then when they lifted it in 1934, the stock market shot right back up. And today, both political parties, usually both political parties, and economists say that the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is a cautious reminder that tariffs don't work. We tried this again, and they didn't work. Every time they're implemented, they destroy the economy. There's halfway through the box, by the way. But other countries like Canada are screwing us over. Okay, so let me educate you. By the way, I brought this up with my one teacher I went to high school, and she is pretty good into economy and business. She is now teaching at the college level for business and the economy. And she said I was correct on this. Here's what happened. 2018, Canada dairy farms are being overwhelmed by American products. So fairfully, Canada wants to protect their GDP. So they start to get together, and so does Mexico. Mexico, United States, and Canada, they all come together, and they pass this thing called the USMCA agreement. Now, here's what happened, right? So, USMCA 2018 said that there is a limit of 50,000 metric tons of liquid milk that can go into Canada. After that, any ton of milk after that is subjected to 250% tariff. Now, get ready for this. Canada did not not let America exceed the amount of milk to trigger the tariff. And get ready for this. Who signed the... there's a wheat penny near me. 57 Denver. Wheat penny number 10. Who signed USMCA? The leader of Canada. Leader of Mexico. Leader of the United States. Who was the leader of the United States in 2018? Donald J. Trump. That's right. So he says that other countries are screwing us over with the 250% tariff when, guess what, Donnie? You signed the tariff. You signed it, or at least co-signed it into law. So they're screwing us over. That's partially from you. And by the way, no, they're not screwing us over. It's just bullshit rhetoric to turn people against other people. Remember, these politicians cannot take on the American populace as a whole. Think about this. Try to take an army on. You ain't gonna do it. You know how you take an army on? Alright, you know how you could possibly take an army on? Split it right down the middle and get them to fight each other. And then you sit back and watch as they do the hard work for you. But anyway, bro literally says countries are screwing us over when he signs the paperwork to quote-unquote let this happen. Oh, and it gets so much worse. Let's get into Iran. Let me straighten you guys out. I did some researching on the incident. Was Iran enriching uranium? Yes. But here's the true story. What the media will not cover. I know I'm sounding cringe, but listen. Look this up. This is the truth. In the 2000s, it was found that Iran was making a shit ton of uranium. Enriched uranium, to be exact. We had International Nuclear Committee agents, or like the national community, was investigating Iran. We ran up to thousands of investigations, and we found out that they're making uranium. And we told them to pipe the F down, right? Do you know what Iran did after we told them to do that? They said sure. And so, the Iran nuclear deal was signed in 2015 by President Barack Obama. The exchange is, Iran gets rid of their uranium. Every last bit. They destroy their research equipment. Hello, viewer. And they did. And we put the international community, we sent them into Iran, and they didn't have anything. They actually fulfilled their end of the bargain. Look this up. I mean, this is actually true. Look it up. Look at the nuclear stockpile. But then, in 2018, we withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal. Who did it? Donald Trump did. Calling it a, quote, a bad deal. Citing human rights. Yes, the guy is citing human rights when he completely disavows the transgender community. Yeah, you care about human rights, don't you, bucko? There's 09. Like, really, you care about human rights? You're on the same party that helped overturn Roe v. Wade? You say you care so much about women, yet you allow abortion to be completely outlawed, or at least overturned? You say you care about, you know, the Jewish community, when you really let Elon Musk do the salute and not even, you know, mention a thing about it? No, you don't. Hello, viewers. I'm crashing out. So anyway, President Trump in 2018 withdrawals from the Iran nuclear deal. Iran gets sanctioned to shit. And we put sanctions on their nuclear industry, their coal industry, and their banking industry. Completely screwed them over. And so as a result, after 2018, Iran began to enrich more uranium. And by 2024, they had enriched more than they had ever done. We caused that. And then, imagine this, right? You're making, like, you're hoarding guns, right? And they say, okay, if you hand over your guns, we'll make peace. So you hand over your guns, and then after that, the person that basically you give your guns to takes your own guns and shoots you, or at least basically stabs you in the back. And then says you're the problem. Look, if you're thinking this is true, watch this. Ready? Watch it, watch it. Iran uranium stockpile. Ready for this? Ready for this? I'm sorry if I'm crashing out. I'm sorry if I'm being annoying. Ready for this, chat? Ready to see it? Boom. JCPOA, we agreed to that in 2008, in 2015. They stopped. We back out of the deal. Look what happens. Here's another one. By the way, when they destroyed like 93% of the uranium, and then they got rid of thousands of centrifuges to make it. We agree, gone. And then we leave, starts going up. What day is this? September 2010, right? So they go up, and then it drops. This is an old one. That only goes to 2010. This one, 2015, that's the same one. Here it goes again. So we get the deal here, and then we leave the deal, and goes up. I mean, we're at 30 rolls in. We should have 60 pennies. We got 10. And there we go. I'm sorry, you two people sticking with this. Thank you for being patient. People now more than ever need to start realizing more than ever when they're being conned. Here's the thing. Politicians, they are saying what you want to hear on both sides. It doesn't matter. We need to keep holding more people accountable. This is what we're at. This is where we're at in America right now. We say other countries are screwing us over, but we initiated the tariffs, or we basically signed the deals to let them tariff us. We're saying Iran has nuclear weapons when they didn't have uranium before. Well, we made them get more uranium after we left the deal. So it was our fault that it happened. By the way, much to the dismay of the international community, by the way. The international community was like, yeah, don't do this. And we're like, sure, just do it. Also, the same community that moans, and I mean moans, that we send billions to Ukraine. However, we're completely silent that ever since 2000, we've sent $33 billion to Israel. 17 Philly. So, yeah, we're moaning about helping the country that is getting attacked, but we're not even, talking about the fact that we're sending money to an aggressive nation. Bruh, you can't have your cake and eat it too, my friend. Again, I'm sorry if I sound cringe, but this is exactly how fascist regimes start. I have studied how the Nazis came into power. They used hate. They used fear to get into power. In the end of the World War, or end of the First World War, the end of the World War, that sounds so bad. At the end of the First World War, the far right in Germany started blaming Jews, communists, and socialists for losing the war, even though it is unanimously agreed that Germany's incompetence in their military lost them the First World War. This is called stab in the back theory. And it's a theory, again, that it stemmed from far right Germany. Saying, again, that Jews and all this bullshit caused the World War. No, they didn't. They didn't lose them the war. It was because Germany was just, they had a skill issue. That's it. Think about this, right? Back then, we had Germany saying that the Jews, socialists, communists started and it lost us the war. Whatever, right? Complete bullshit, utter lies. Now, we're saying that trans people are cutting off kids' whatevers. We're saying immigrants are taking over jobs. We're saying that, all this stuff about minorities. that is just not true. You think that, trans community, which makes up like what, 1% of the entire population, you think they're really taking over? For every 100 Americans, only one of them is in the trans community. Do you really think they're taking over? That doesn't compute, buddy. Because guess what? Minorities like queers and immigrants are an easy target for alt-right personalities to target because they're the most marginalized people. Okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You think you're safe because you're a group? No, they're going to start coming for you. First, they test the limits by trying to overturn Roe v. Wade. Then they know they can do that. Then they're going to go for trans rights. They're going to keep going down the chain. And guess what? If you don't think you're on the chopping block, oh, I bet your ass, buddy. It's going to start in the most marginalized people, but they're going to work their way down if you let them. In World War II, first they came for Jews. Then they came for the transgenders. Then they came for the homosexuals. Then they came for the communists. And then the traitors, quote-unquote traitors. And they came for the blacks. They started going down the line. And if we let... Oh, there's no name. If we let them do it, it's going to repeat itself. It's sad, right? Because we're worrying about minorities invading the country, quote unquote. Which, again, by the way, that's essentially just replacement theories, which is just Nazi bullshit. You know, quote unquote, the degenerates are trying to replace. You know, it's just literally just preposterous bullshit. If you believe it, you're a dummy. There is no replacement going on. Nothing other than, people just want to be more accepting and kind to others and not be an asshole, which is totally okay in my book. Hello, viewer. But people of this country, you need to know that Trump failed you. He said he would rapidly he'd rapidly revitalize the economy. Okay, you know how conservative Indiana is? I went there and I saw gases. There was a couple of $2.99s, but most of them were like $3.40. Same in Illinois. Okay. The price of everything is just not gone down. It took him 5 months to break even on the stock market. Like on Dow Jones, it took 5 months for him to go positive. He did way better in his first term, and Joe Biden did better in his term. Yeah, but you're just propaganda. If you don't think Joe Biden did better on the stock market in the same period as Trump is, then we can sit here and I can show you the raw data. Because I'm going to say a quote to you that you say to everybody else. It's that the facts don't care about your feelings. I have screenshots of over 6 months of stock markets doing their thing. Oh, there's Canadian. If you don't believe me, we can sit down and we can chat this out. And again, I don't care how bad I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theory here. But listen, the president was saying he's going to release the Epstein files. Trump is going to release the Epstein files. And then, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to drop it, okay? And then he said, 09. And he says they don't exist. If that is not suspicious to you, then you are a bootlicker. There is no... I mean, I know I said that's at the start of the thing, right? You're saying that we released the Epstein file, quote-unquote released them, which essentially was just fake. We had a bunch of mega influencers take a bunch of binders out that said Epstein files that we don't know even existed, right? And then we got a video that's missing a minute. We have all this proof, and then you're saying, oh, not real. Pick a damn side, Donnie. Think about this. And I want you to genuinely think about it. Why is the guy... why is he not releasing the files? He said he was going to do it. Also, just a side note, remember when he said he was going to end the war in Ukraine? Oh, by the way, that's still going on. Still going on, buddy. That's long as 20... I didn't know 24 hours counted as 6 months. Just saying. Like, again, he's saying all these promises, and then you just kind of forget about it because he overwhelms the news with crazy shit that he does on a daily basis that you forget about what he promised. And he just says he's a good president. No. He is the worst president. Oh, but yet you put in, no, by Gallup data, he is the lowest rated president. His first term is the lowest rated. Biden's term is the second worst rated. And his second term is the third worst. Again, data doesn't care about your feelings now, doesn't it? Like, you're telling me we are in the golden age of America where we deny climate change, we bastardize minorities, we have an anti-vax, germ denial person on the Department of Health and Human Services that thinks autism is caused by vaccines. That's been disproven 30 years ago. How many times do we have to say this? Correlation does not equal causation. Yes, please, YouTube, don't ban me. Vaccination rates went up the same rate as autism did. Do you know why? Because the medical field improved. Screening for autism has improved, just like vaccinations have improved. But there have been experiments debunking this for over 30 goddamn years. Alright, 10 rolls left. We should have 8-week pace, but we got 10. Listen, I'm an autistic person saying this. There is no link between autism and vaccines. Nothing. Zero. Estimate. And by the way, I'm sorry if I quote-unquote get offended, but this thing treating it like, oh, autism is caused by vaccines, it's treating it like we're a disease. So that kind of comes off as, oh, autistic people are a disease. That it's a disease that we need to fix. Newsflash, buddy, it's not. And if you think that, you're a dumbass. If you think we're a disease, you're stupid. Like, come on. Listen, dude, I should have said this at the beginning of the stream. Trump's on the Epstein list. Just be real for it, okay? Why is he not releasing it? He knows his ass is on there. We have videos of him and Epstein together pointing at women. We literally have gotten logs with him and his name on the logs. He's on the list. Again, you gotta think about this. Like Josh Bondi, James Patel, whatever, all these basically mega people in like the 3-letter acronym government agencies, they're gonna do whatever Trump wants. And that's hiding the files. They worship him like a god. They're not, mark my words, they are not gonna drop him because his ass is all over those files. Like, come on, dude. The guy's, we have videos of him. The guy has 34 sexual assault allegations, 17 felony. We have actual recordings saying, oh, Trump's my best friend, from Epstein, by the way. The evidence is damning, but people are in complete denial because it's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance occurs when you believe so much into a belief that when you hear something that... Oh, there's an 09. When you hear something that contradicts it, your brain goes into full denial. So, like, again, a Trump supporter hearing that Trump's a bad person and being completely in denial, and they just don't think he's bad, even or like you don't think he's committed a crime, even though he has. That's cognitive dissonance. 17 Philly. Again, cognitive dissonance is a condition that occurs when you have so much belief in the system and that system gets challenged and it's proven to be something other than your thinking and you are in complete denial over it. I don't care. Even if I were a Republican right now, I'd be extremely ashamed of my party. I used to be Republican years ago when I was in middle school and early high school, but I stopped for reasons I will explain another day. But I don't care. I'll be happy to see it. If this is the beginning of the end of this MAGA movement, I will be extremely happy. This movement has plagued this country for far too long, spreading hate, lies, degenerosity, and complete maliciousness towards everybody that isn't their own. I want them out of here, man. And this is not a call to violence. I just don't want them to be a thing anymore. We have so many. Our planet is literally getting hotter. Oceans levels are rising. There's world hunger, poverty. Immigrants, minorities are not an issue. Sorry if I keep jumping back and forth between topics. Just saying, if you are MAGA and you ever listen to this, I don't respect you, and I don't care for you. I want to say sorry, but no. Here's the thing. You voted for a president that will destroy wind turbine credit. You voted for a president that spreads hate. And lies. You voted for a president that basically played your ass like a fiddle. $1946 Denver. 2016 Denver, big fun. And we penny number 11. First reading in a while. Again, I will definitely say this. If you are a Trump supporter and you keep going after this point, I don't know what to tell you. You cannot keep falling for this shit. He said he was going to release the Epstein files. And now he's saying that they're not real, right? Like, if this was something minor, like, if he said, like, I don't know, it would be minor. No pun intended. Like, this is regarding the world's most infamous pedo. This is not monkey business. This is real. And thousands of people have gotten hurt from this man and his horrendous actions. He needs to be, I would say he needs to be jailed. No, he can't because he's dead. Another wheat penny. $44 Philly. Wheat penny number 12. Damn scumbags. We need to, honestly, again, in terms of, like, this last election, and this amount, the past, like, 6 months, I'd almost say past, like, 8 years, America We need to do better. We need to actually think with our brains and not vote for stupid people like the past 2-3 presidents. We need something other than the left or right. We need a better party. Because these two-party party politics system is just not going anywhere. Every time one party tries to do something, the other one denies. Again, I said this so many times on my streams, we call ourselves the United States, but we're the most divided ever. I want you to bounce that in your head. We're the United States, but we're divided between left versus right. Again, it's just top versus bottom, but they're flipping the camera 90 degrees to give you a far worse scenario. $17 Philly. I hate when they're like, oh, he's the best president. Yes, your president committed 34 felonies. Your president got impeached twice. The only president in United States history to ever be impeached twice. The third to ever be impeached at all. Lori, there's been 4 impeachments, and he owns half of them. Hung out with the world's most infamous, evil, sadistic pedos. And completely puts everybody down. It's funny how he says he needs to keep criminals out of the country. The guy saying we need to keep criminals out of the country doesn't even realize there's a criminal in the president's seat. What a joke. Again, people say, oh, we need to keep criminals out of the country. We need to keep criminals out of the government. Best of all, we need to keep criminals off the president's seat. If that makes you mad or salty, good. I hope it makes you super pissed. You know, Canadian penny. Oh, by the way, how's the Canada becoming the 51st state? Oh, yeah, that didn't happen. How about Canada becoming red, white, and Greenland? Didn't happen. How about Trump Gaza? Hasn't happened. These are grifts. So, day 1, we're going to have a great economy. We're going to get so many jobs back. Nope. Man, he had to reach deep into his ass to get that one down, didn't he? So, hey, sorry for political bullshit. No, it's just truth. You guys need to swallow it. You guys need to swallow the truth. If you can't understand that, then it's not my problem. Understand, I draw a line when my people are turned against each other. Political corruption must end. I think right now we've seen one of the worst moments of Trump's presidencies ever. This will be a day to be remembered. Whatever president comes after Trump is going to have a very big job to do. And I don't know who they will be, and I hope it's not him. I don't know who they're going to be, but please help us. We're doing so much hard work than any president. How about, let's see. Eisenhower, the guy who built all the interstates. How about JFK, who had a 90 years... or up to 70% approval rating, and was one of the best politicians in history, or presidents in history. Actually, ever since Kennedy, there's been no president with a approval rating higher than him. It's funny how he recognizes Trump as being like the worst president of all time in the first term, and then we go and elect him again. That's like hitting something with a broken sledgehammer, and it's like breaking in half, and then saying, you know what, I'm gonna try it again, and then it just completely falls apart. Thinking that electing a failed president would definitely work is the definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Well, guess what, buddy? You voted for this. You voted exactly for this. And that's what? You're getting exactly what you deserve. Because it doesn't matter what political party you're on right now. We're in this shit together. And you're going to help. And to my mission, MAGA, you're going to suffer with us. Whether you like it or not. Because you did this. If you don't think you're suffering, you're either rich or you're about to suffer. And it's not going to be from my hand. It's going to be from his. 11 bicentennials, 12 wheat pennies. No. 11, 17 Philadelphia's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bicentennials. 3 Esmonts. 3 Whitties. 4 Canadians. Copper. Not as good as a batch I was thinking, but whatever. It's okay. And to be fair, I didn't like the turnout of the election, but I gave Trump the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he wasn't going to be this bad. I tried to put my faith, and he completely disintegrated it all on his own. I have no care for my president. I have no care for the people that back him. They destroy people's lives, and they are trying to destroy mine. And for that, I simply don't give a shit. Womp womp. Hey, sorry for the political shit today. I hate my country sometimes. And we're gonna be back tomorrow with box 182, but I'm gonna have to do a penny, like a little micro penny run at my town. So yeah, see ya.